surgery, a brain surgery, when he was 4 years old. And one of the indications after that surgery was that he was not to have any head trauma or things like that leading on in life. So even though he's felt dizzy at times before, unfortunately, after this attack, he has things have gotten a little bit worse for him. Es importante de decir que Juan quedó, no solamente fue al hospital por cuestiones de los golpes que sufrió en la cabeza, pero también en la pierna, que le causaron a que tuviera problemas caminando unos días después. Y es importante también recalcar que a los 4 años Juan tuvo una cirugía en su cabeza, y una de las indicaciones que fue dadas por el doctor es que él no podía sufrir trauma en su cabeza por problemas con complicaciones. So now we will hear from Juan Sr., which is Juan's dad, and he will explain to us about how he feels and what he would like to see changes made within HISD and for his son. And one last thing, it's important to clarify that this family now has an excess of $15,000 in medical fees that they have to take care of. So this is something that was unwarranted and shouldn't have happened to begin with. También es importante recalcar que aproximadamente se van a deber más de $15,000 en cuestiones médicas que esta familia no tenía que incurrir, ya que esto nunca tenía que haber pasado. So now we'll hear from Juan Sr.
Buenas tardes a todos. Tengo muy pocas palabras al expresarme en ese momento, pero me gustaría pedir un poco más de seguridad, un poco más de apoyo por parte de la escuela para que esto no vuelva a pasar con mi hijo y no vuelva a pasar con ningún otro estudiante. No sé, tengo muy pocas palabras para poder decir más, ¿verdad? Estoy un poco nervioso.
¿Cómo se siente usted al ver el video? ¿Cómo se sintió usted al ver el
video? Me sentí impotente, como lo dije, no poder ayudarlo. Me siento decepcionado por parte de la escuela y sí me gustaría, de alguna manera la escuela me hiciera sentir un poco más seguro para poder seguir mandándolo a él a la escuela.
Okay. ¿Puede repetir algo breve en inglés? No. ¿No? Okay. Está bien. Vamos por acá. Okay. So that's Juan Sr. He said that basically, in synopsis of what he was going to say, is basically he would like for there to be changes, and he would like to feel secure that he can send his son to school without fearing for his safety. And so now we'll hear from Juan Jr. I do ask that you all be mindful of your questions at the end when we ask him, because he's obviously the person that has suffered the most from this. So let's just keep that in mind. Y ahora vamos a escuchar de Juan Jr. Y si le más les pido que tengamos un prudencia cuando le hagamos las preguntas, porque él obviamente ha sido no solamente físicamente, pero también emocionalmente afectado por lo que está pasando. So, Juan.
What the questions are? ¿Qué son las preguntas?
¿Cómo te sientes tú y qué Bueno, ¿cómo te sientes tú primero?
¿Emocionalmente o...?
De todo, emocionalmente. ¿Y cómo te sentiste después de lo que pasó?
Pues mal, pues no, yo me sentí mal, pues no tenía que pasar. Yo le dije que me dejaran en paz, ¿no?
¿Y qué cambios te gustaría ver después de lo que pasó?
Que prestara más atención en la escuela, o que prestara más atención en la escuela, más vigilancia.
¿Tú te sientes seguro? ¿Te sentiste seguro regresando a la escuela o te sentiste?
No me siento bien seguro.
Okay. So, okay, now in English, how do you feel after what happened? Oh, yeah, por supuesto. You can take it off. Si quieres, you can take it off.
¿Nos puede platicar qué sucedió ese día? Or can you tell us in English what happened that day?
Like the whole thing?
Yeah.
What happened was like I went to the restroom, and the kids, I didn't know it was going to that school, and they just came up to me saying, "Hey, why you haven't gone to the park?" And I say, I've been going to the park, and I went inside the restroom, and I started my business, and then the big kid came behind me and said, "We gotta fight in order for us to be cool." And I was like, I just don't want to fight with y'all. I don't got no beef with y'all or nothing. I just don't want to be with y'all. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just went back to class. And after class, it was time for lunch, and I didn't know they were gonna be right there, and because I went and grabbed my food and I went and sat down, and they just came up from behind me and they just started saying like we gotta fight, you know. And I was like, just leave me alone. No, I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm not gonna fight with y'all. So they just started hitting me.
So, do you know these guys? Do you know them at all?
Chose a little one.
So can you tell them what happened at the, like, how you met them at the park?
Oh
The
nah,
summer?
I have met him like the small one. I met him in 6th grade. We went to the same school, and we were cool. And even in summer school, we were cool. We had like my other friend was like he was like she saw the video and she was like, but y'all were cool. Like so everybody was like nothing. They didn't say nothing to me. It was like oh they messed up for that, you know.
Who recorded the video?
I didn't see.
What happened to
The
guy
ki-
responsible?
I think they ain't DAP I think. Like to alternative school I think.
I'll answer. So I'll answer them. You stay right here though. So part of our worry was that the students were allowed to come back to school almost immediately after the incident occurred, and he had an interaction with another one of them like 2 days right after. Where he was still continuing to bother him and things like that, and then that was one. And number two is that the students, you know, it's sometimes parents have to make a hard decision because we don't, you know, at the end of the day we have to remember these kids' age, right? But at the end of the day, the family feels like they would like to press charges because this once again was unprecedented. It wasn't merited, and at the end of the day, this family man wants to protect his kid and the rest of his family. So, and we understand that. So we're asking for a full investigation by the Harris County District Attorney as well as the Houston Independent School District, because what we saw right now was only a brief synopsis of the actual the beating that continued after. So it was this is not the full video, and so we would like to see surveillance, and there has to be, we're asking for a full investigation from the not only Sterling High School but also the Houston Independent School District and the Harris County District Attorney if merited. So una de las cosas que queremos aclarar es que no solamente una de las cosas que nos preocupó, y Juan me puede corregir si estoy mal, es que estos niños, él tuvo una interacción con ellos justo unos días después. Eso no nos indica que ellos realmente recibieron un castigo por lo que pasó. Y al final del día también tenemos que tener en mente la edad de estos niños, pero también nosotros nos conmueve y tenemos que abogar por nuestras familias, o la familia quiere que sean cargos establecidos en contra de estos jóvenes para que ellos reciban el castigo que se merecen, pero más que nada Juan reciba la justicia que él también se merece. Esto no tenía que haber pasado. A la misma vez queremos una investigación completa por el juez por el abogado del condado del Harris County, y queremos una investigación completa de la escuela de Sterling High School y del Distrito Independiente de Houston. Otra cosa muy importante es que lo que vimos ahora solamente fue un pequeño tiempo en la golpiza que ocurrió, y queremos ver todo el video para saber qué es lo que pasó, a dónde estaba la policía, por qué no había más maestros vigilando y qué fue que llevó eso a esa cuestión. The other question that we have for Sterling High School and HISD is, where was security at this point? Where were the teachers? Why wasn't nobody able to get to him immediately and stop this from happening? At this time, we'll go ahead and take questions. I know that you all have more questions, and we'll start with you. ¿Qué pregunta tienes?
¿Puedes decir la pregunta otra vez?
Anteriormente tú habías tenido algún problema con los chicos que
Mm-mm.
te golpearon, los ves en la escuela, o cuál era tu relación con ellos.
No, pues cuando íbamos al parque yo y el niño chiquito, pues era bien, yo ya jugaba fútbol.
O sea, sí los conoces, son tus compañeros en realidad.
No, yo no tengo clase con ellos, pero yo tenía una clase con ellos en middle school.
No habías tenido ninguna discusión anteriormente.
No.
Simplemente decidieron golpearte. Después de esta situación, ¿cómo te has sentido? ¿Te sientes seguro de asistir a clase?
Mm-mm.
¿Qué piensas después de ello? ¿Qué debe de hacer la autoridad escolar, los maestros, para que te sientas confiado en regresar a las aulas?
Pues que presten más atención que pongan más vigilancia, ¿sí me entienden?
¿Te sientes inseguro porque no hay policías dentro de lo que es el recinto escolar?
Mhm. Sí.
So how do you feel? How did you feel right after?
I feel bad. Like I feel like they need to pay more attention. Like to pay more attention and put like more people like, you know what I mean?
How about you feel about the safety in the school? Not just about you, but in general, for all the kids. How many police officers the school has at that time?
Like, they only had it two police. I don't know how to explain myself to that, but I just feel bad.
You mean there was only 2 officers in the cafeteria?
No, in the whole school. In the whole school, there's only 2 officers.
So how did it stop? Like, did somebody eventually?
Before like the fight even happened, I saw the police going like with a teacher, I think going somewhere until like the same police that I saw, he stopped the fight.
What grade are you in?
9,
Ninth grade.
And
so
how old are you?
Just to
15.
15. Just to back up, I know you said the guy said like we have to fight to be cool. Was this guy like new? Like, is this some kind of, is this normal? Like, I'm trying to understand. I guess I don't know if this kid thing. I mean, I don't know. Like, in other words, have y'all? I know you said you've been cool with one of the guys. So this other guy who said you have to fight to be cool, is he like? You know what I'm trying to ask? I'm just trying to.
Was he trying to recruit you into it?
Right, I'm trying to understand why he felt. Was he new to school and felt he had to prove himself, or you
I
like
don't
this? Like, what
I don't know. I just know like he was his brother. Like he's big already. I don't know how old he is, but I just know that he was his brother. He was like, we just gotta fight in order to be cool. He was not saying, hey, you gotta fight to join the gang. He's just like, you gotta fight in order for us to be cool.
And it's important to point out that this happened on the second day of school. He's a freshman.
Okay, that's
So
what I was trying to say.
freshman
Like,
coming
was
in.
he new to the? Okay.
Yes, freshman
Oh.
coming in,
I got
second
it.
day of school, and then this kid who he had met over the summer, like they had gone to summer school, he had known since 6th grade. All of a sudden comes up with older brother, his older brother, and says, "We gotta fight to be cool."
That's
on
what
the
I said, was somebody new.
yes,
to
on
fight.
the second day of school, and then the younger kid, el que estaba más chiquito era también freshman, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
So he's a freshman too. So nada más para explicar brevemente en español, él es un freshman entrando el segundo, y esto pasa el segundo día de escuela. So no podemos decir que, por ejemplo, que algo pasó el mes anterior en la escuela o algo que ameritaba a lo mejor una fricción si esto que estaba nuevo. So the other thing since this is the second day of school, we also can't say, oh, something happened a week ago that they already had beef or something like that. So that's why this takes us all back. It's important to point out also that this happened on August 24th, and the reason why we're barely learning about this is because it's very likely that we would have not even, this would have just been brushed under the rug if this video did not exist. So the other thing that we're trying to do is we thank Juan for his bravery in coming forward, because there's other kids that may this may happen to that we may never hear about, and that's the difficult thing behind this. It's okay. The difficult thing behind this is we're trying to get other folks so that we don't have any more Juans in the future, right? So una de las cosas que también tenemos que apuntar es que esto pasó el 24 de agosto y hasta ahorita apenas estamos aprendiendo de esto, o aprendimos esto la semana pasada, pero a lo mejor nunca hubiéramos escuchado esto si este video no existiera. So es importante también, le agradecemos a Juan y a su papá por tener la valentía de explicar esto, porque puede haber miles de estudiantes que estén pasando esto y nunca vamos a saber de eso. So por eso es que estamos pidiendo cambios. What other questions do you have? We'll go with you first. Yes.
Real quick. So the 2 kids that were responsible, they were suspended, or were they sent to alternative school?
From what we've heard, from what the family has heard, ¿qué le han dicho de los 2 niños? ¿Le han querido decir algo o qué le han
No
dicho?
puedo dar información porque son menores, los papás no están presentes, so no tengo ningún tipo de
Hágase un poquito
información.
de aquel lado de su hijo. So the other thing, sí, se lo puede decir acá.
Ok, por ser menores ellos de edad no me han podido dar ningún tipo de información al no estar los padres presentes, o no tengo alguna información acerca de ellos o qué es lo que ha pasado.
So we don't know yet what exactly the consequences the children face, because we haven't, the school are saying that because they are underage, they're not able to give this family the information since it's a privacy issue. But the family still has yet to meet with the principal of Sterling High School. They met only with the principal of the 9th grade, but they haven't met with with the principal. What we're asking for is not only a meeting with the principal, but also the superintendent of HIZ, so we can talk about these issues and make sure that they don't happen again. So una de las cosas también es que el papá no se ha podido reunir, solamente se ha reunido con el principal del grado 9 y no se ha reunido realmente ni con el superintendente ni con el principal en general de la escuela, y le han dicho que no le pueden dar información por cuestión de seguridad. Yes.
But there
Oh.
was two parts, I'm sorry, and this will be my last question.
Yes.
And then there was a second incident, there was a second incident after that, correct?
Yes, sí, hubo un incidente después de eso. Ellos estaban, hubo otra cuestión, ellos estaban en el mismo espacio. So can you explain what happened when you guys were in the same space?
In Spanish and English.
In English.
They were in like, they took me to the class, right, and the two kids entered, and the small kid sitting in front of me was like, "Hey, I heard your bitches was snitching," and I didn't say nothing, but the teacher knew what happened, so he took me with another teacher.
So, ¿puedes decirlo en español? Después, ¿qué pasó? Cuando estaban en una clase y después, ¿qué pasó?
Me sentaron en el salón, ¿verdad? Y los dos niños entraron y el niño chiquito se me sentó al frente de mí y me dijo, hey, escuché que tú estabas diciéndole cosas a los maestros, y yo no le dije nada. Y el maestro que estaba dentro ahí, él supo lo que había pasado con nosotros, le marcó a la otra maestra y me llevaron con ella.
Okay. También ha habido, no solamente por recalcar, no vamos a hablar mucho de esto, pero también uno de los muchachos le mandó mensajes por Facebook o por dónde
Instagram.
fue? Instagram. Por Instagram, todavía diciéndole como qué ha pasado, todo eso. So it's important to also point out that one of the aggressors sent him messages on Instagram saying, you know, like, what's up, like, are we cool now, and stuff like that. And obviously, that's not the case. Where's your, yes.
What were the extent of the injuries, and how's your recovery? How are you now?
I'm feeling like kind of good now, but I feel dizzy sometimes, you know. I can, like, my leg kind of hurts a little bit, but I can, you know. I'm more worried about my head than my leg, you know.
Can you explain that? Why you? I know.
What
I
are you
know
worried about? Yes, go ahead.
Can you hold just for a second? Can you explain your
You can take it off.
background? I mean, I know he did, but I'd rather hear from you, and why head trauma is so crucial for you.
Like, what you mean?
Why he explained, like, you served him when you were a child. So can you explain why these hits to the head were so dangerous?
Because
Can you just explain?
I can't get hit in the head because I could probably die, you know, because it's like kind of like right here. I can't get hit. It's bad. You know what I mean?
But this is all stemmed from when you were a child.
Mm.
But so how are you feeling right now?
Like right now, I'm feeling good right now.
Do you want to transfer schools? I mean, I know it's not that easy to do so. I'm just saying, like, does this make you feel obviously very uncomfortable going to that school?
Hmm.
Do you?
Cesar, you can explain about like how studying is in the neighborhood and how the kids basically just have one option,
Yeah.
like regarding your question, like how transfer to another school. Studying trying to do the best, but the real thing is not too much resource.
Right,
So
I know it's not
you can
easy.
explain that and
Yes.
how the family feels like that basically the administration is no have more like 2 or 3 steps to make sure people and families feel like safety. And something like FIEL wants to start like make conversations in the community about the violence, because this is about violence and we don't want to HSD schools become like some kind of like violence more and
Yeah.
this kind of neighborhood.
So, but based on the conversation that we had with Juan, this was his choice school to go to because of the ROTC program and many other things that he has ambitions for his future as well. So we don't. He has expressed to us that he does not want to transfer schools because this is also something that's close in his neighborhood, something that he feels comfortable with, and we don't feel like that should even be an option, because it shouldn't have to be an option, because number one, this shouldn't have had to happen, and number two is how can we make it safe for him to return and not have to disrupt his life for something that he had no control over. So una de las cosas que nos ha expresado Juan es que queremos que haya cambios en esta escuela porque es algo que le queda cerca a él, a su familia, es algo que él se siente cómodo, y él escogió esta escuela, ¿verdad?, para ir ahí por el programa de ROTC, diferentes cosas, porque él también tiene ambiciones como para su vida. Pero una de las cosas importantes es saber que como hay esa opción para él, también hay otras opciones para otros estudiantes. Bueno, no hay otras opciones, perdón, para esos estudiantes y han consolidado varias escuelas en una sola sin realmente crear un espacio donde pueda haber educación sin violencia. So one of the things that has also happened in this neighborhood is they have consolidated many schools in the area to one school and combined the magnet program with just the other kids who don't have another option for school, and then it leads up to this expectation. But we also don't believe, de nuevo, no creemos tampoco que eso debería de ser una opción para él moverse a la escuela por algo que él no hizo. Una de las cosas que también nos ha expresado el papá es de que de nuevo, no sé si quiere hablar de la deuda del hospital, que justo hoy le llegó un bill a la casa. Pasa, ¿por qué? So the other thing is that the dad, in fact, before coming here, received one of the largest bills from the hospital.
Pues sí, aparentemente los biles, obviamente, perdón, no detienen. Hoy mañana recibí otro bill que es arriba de $13,000 y yo no tengo los fondos como cubrir esos gastos, y como mi hijo comenta, se siente un poco mareado de repente y esos gastos van a seguir incrementando y no tengo la mínima idea de cómo voy a poder pagar todos esos gastos.
So the other thing, and just to put in some synopsis with Mr. Juan, ¿se lo puede decir en inglés o? Okay. So the other thing is that just today before coming here, we received a bill from the hospital for over $13,000, and that's just for the hospital stay. That doesn't include the long-term doctor's visits and everything else that he's going to have to face moving forward, and they don't have the resources to take care of those medical bills, and they obviously don't have insurance at the moment.
And my question about HISD and the ninth grade principal, like what kind of payment did they say we're looking into it, we're investigating?
All we have heard so far from HISD and really just HISD is we're looking into it and we can't comment at this time. And so for us, that's an unacceptable answer because the bills from the hospital are not stopping. What Juan is suffering is not stopping right now. So why should we stop because they tell us to? So we're not going to stop. We're going to go with this family. We have made a commitment to this family not only to help them out in this measure, but also we're hoping to help them start a GoFundMe as well to cover medical bills and stuff like that. But we shouldn't have to do this. This is something that we shouldn't even have to be talking about. She should have been safe to begin with, but because this is now happening, we're asking for there to be a resolve, and for at the end of the day, we get the justice that Juan deserves. So al final del día queremos recalcar de nuevo que esto no tenía que haber pasado. La escuela nos ha dicho, estamos esperando, estamos pendientes, pero los biles del hospital no pasan, el trauma que sufrió Juan no pasa, todo lo que está, eso no espera. So tampoco nosotros vamos a esperar y juntos vamos a buscar una resolución para ellos. Vamos a ayudar a la familia a empezar un GoFundMe en los próximos días para que ellos puedan cubrir sus gastos médicos, pero al final del día ni siquiera tendríamos que estar eso, la escuela tendría que responder y nosotros tendríamos que mejor estar hablando de la educación de Juan, no de la violencia que él sufrió en la escuela. At the end of the day, we should be talking about Juan's education, not the violence that he suffered at school. Are there any other questions?
Pues de verdad me sentí muy mal, muy impotente al no poder ayudarlo, inseguro, como le comentaba, no sé si seguirlo mandando a esa misma escuela, pero pues es lo que a él le gusta, el sueño que él quiere, seguir en los pasos de la Navy, so tengo que apoyarlo en lo que él decida.
¿Quiere entrar al Navy?
Sí, correcto.
Le podemos preguntar a su hijo, John, what kind of goes through your mind when you see that video?
You say what?
Sad? Do you feel mad? Do you feel like you want to erase it? How do you feel when you see that video?
I feel everything. I just want to, I just want to see him and punch him, for doing that, And I feel bad for that. It's good.
All right.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you want to do with your future? You just were learning you want to go into the Navy and stuff. What do you
It's like the Air Force. I just didn't know they didn't have the Air Force program. But what you mean? Say the question again. I forgot.
What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? In other words,
Be in the Air Force.
do you want to fly?
Yeah.
Yo hablo. Sí. this will be the last question because he's actually feeling a little bit dizzy right now. So this will be the last question.
Pues me siento mal por verlo, siento como que lo quiero borrar, you know, para que ya no esté ahí.
And one of the reasons why we actually, if you notice when we started this, we turned the TV this way is because he still cannot see the video fully because it just triggers a lot of emotions. Una de las cosas que también, porque volteamos la pantalla para acá y le hicimos que él se parara para atrás, es porque él todavía no puede ver las imágenes. A mí me da coraje, a nosotros nos da coraje, a todos nos debería de dar coraje para pedir un cambio en la resolución de HISD. So we'll go ahead and conclude this because Juan is actually feeling a little bit dizzy, and so we ask for your patience, and we'll do a follow-up in the next couple of weeks once we get some resolve from HISD. So vamos a concluir aquí porque Juan se está sintiendo un poquito mal y vamos si hay algunas preguntas, igual nos pueden contactar a nosotros. Thank you so much for coming.
And when anybody wants to ask to HSD is by the policy is HSD can have meetings with parents, but something like FIEL wants to do is make sure these small conversations with parents with like Juan on